Hello. My name is Sissy, and today we're going to go through 10 awesome sites to find mods and custom content for The Sims 2. It was extremely hard to limit it to just 10, so there will also be some honorable mentions near the end of the video. Number 1. Cyjon Sims 2 Mods and Stuff. Cyjon is an incredible modder who has made hundreds of mods for The Sims 2. Most of these are minor mods, which just tweak the gameplay. Perfect if you run into something in the game that's not quite your style, or which you just want to change slightly. These were some of the first mods that I downloaded when I first started putting mods into my game. Mods like no auto pillow fights, no robot sneezing, or vampire walkbys are small tweaks to the default game can really increase your immersion in the game. Some of my other favorite mods on his website are the Townie Enthusiasm Seeder, Zombie Personality, and Townie Job Fix. When you first go to his website, in the top left under navigation, the very first link is Sims 2 Mods. I recommend opening up the first one and clicking through them when you have some time. You can go through them one at a time by clicking the next button on the bottom right of each page. Although most of his mods are small tweaks to the game, he also does have some mods which make a bigger impact. An example of this would be the new Genie Wishes mod. This adds new wishes to the magic lamp item that you can receive in the game, which can create a more robust experience during your gameplay. Number 2. Pick and Mix mods for The Sims 2. Pick and Mix, also known as W. Howard, creates both mods and modded objects for The Sims 2. You can see on their website on the left-hand side the list of all of their downloads. They have some tweak mods, such as the Crafting Skills and Tweaks mod, and they have some larger, more intricate mods, such as No Driving Without a License. Yes, they added driver's licenses to the game. Some of my favorite pick and mix mods are Toddler Character Changes, which makes teaching your toddlers potty training, walking, talking, and nursery rhymes have more of an impact than just aspiration points and memories. And Duvet Days, which is a mod that lets you say you're going to take a vacation day before the carpool arrives, rather than waiting for it to arrive and then canceling the go-to-work action. It's a quality of life improvement that I could no longer live without. In terms of their modded objects, my favorite is their pregnancy test. Sure, you could always use the Sim Blender or some other pregnancy scanner to see if your Sim is pregnant. But this is much more immersive and actually has your Sim find out if they're pregnant, not just you as the player. Overall, they're an incredibly skilled modder who is still actively making both mods and utilities for The Sims 2. We'll talk more about the utilities and tools that they've created for The Sims 2 in a future video, so be sure to subscribe so you can catch that video when I release it. Number 3. Simlogical. Although Simlogical is no longer actively creating content for The Sims 2, the website is still up and available that has a lot of modded objects, as well as some extremely intricate mods for The Sims 2, specifically ones that increase your storytelling immersion. If you guys have been watching my Sims 2 Pleasant View Let's Play, you've 100% heard me reference Simlogical. And that's because my favorite mods on the Simlogical website are their school system and their prison system. These are mods which let you play functional schools and functional prisons, adding a whole new level of immersion to your Sims 2 neighborhood. You can even find a custom career that I made to complement their school system on my website at sissysims.com/resources. Another of their mods you guys have seen me reference in my Sims 2 Let's Play is their color keys system, though you may not have realized it. This is the system that I used to make my Watcher Book of Faith. You can also find the Watcher Book of Faith on my website. This is the item that I use for my religious Sims, so that on my worship center lot, only religious Sims will spawn. Some other mods, which I know are very popular even though I don't use them myself, are the Age Up Anytime Cake, the Use Inaccessible Beds mod, and the Elders Sleep Through the Night patch. This is definitely a site I recommend you click through if you've never taken the time to do so before. Number 4. TheSimsResource. I'm going to start this segment by saying that this site gets on my nerves. And I'll tell you why up front so you can decide if this is a site that you'd like to add to your list to visit. This site has a lot of ads and a timer on downloads. So if you want to do a lot of downloading from here, it is going to take you some time. However, you can see that there are almost 680,000 creations for The Sims 2 on this site. Given that, I don't recommend clicking through everything. However, if you see a link to this site, don't be scared to follow that link. I have been able to find some pretty awesome downloads here when I couldn't find what I was looking for anywhere else. I recommend choosing a subcategory and clicking through quickly until something catches your eye. There are mods on this website, though I mostly use it for custom items. I will also say that the creators can add items to sets, and you can download whole sets at once. I highly recommend doing this even if you're not sure that you want to keep the whole set, because it's easier to delete pieces of a set after you've downloaded it than it is to spend your time downloading all the pieces that you want individually. I wouldn't say that I have any favorite items on this site since I don't use it as much as the others, but even saying that, I have downloaded dozens, if not hundreds of items from this site. So not as much is still a lot. Number 5, Garden of Shadows. Of all the sites on this list, I would say that Garden of Shadows is the hidden gem. It's a forum-based site, so it can be difficult to search, but it's still currently extremely active and hosts monthly themes for creators to make objects, mods, paints, everything you can think of for The Sims 2. It's really a site for fostering creativity. And even though I've never participated in these events, I love seeing what the creative community of The Sims 2 has to bring to the table. You go to the home page, there are 2 things that I want you to look at. On the right-hand side, there is an index of themes and events, and there is also an index of creators and their work. These are 2 good places to start if you're just going to browse around. If you go to the index of The Sims 2 themes, you'll see the monthly themes for all the previous years and direct links to them. You can see that these themes go all the way back to 2009, and in addition to the weekly themes, there's been gift exchanges, advents, and other events on the site. These things are open-ended and inspire creators to create a variety of content, from default replacements, objects, mods, builds, you name it. You could click on any of these and find something amazing, but I highly recommend beginning with whatever catches your eye. As an example, I clicked on the July and August 2022 themes, that 70s theme, and Eye of Newt. Once you click on the theme, underneath the cover image, there will be a list of smaller images. If you click on any of these, it'll take you to the post with that content. If you're going to do a deep dive, this is faster than reading through the entire thread, so if you have the time and want to learn more about the creative process, I do recommend browsing. Number 6, Plum Bob Keep. Even though the Plum Bob Keep is at medievalsims.com, this is not just for people who want to play a medieval or historical game by any means. Once you enter the keep and click on Merchant's Row, you'll see that Plum Bob Keep also follows a forum style like Garden of Shadows. The Plum Bob Keep is home to a very active community of skilled modders and creators. I honestly recommend going through every forum and category to find the things that appeal to you from the years and years of content available for download. If you find it hard to believe me when I say that this website is not just for people who prefer historical gameplay, I'll back up my statement by letting you know that the laundry mod that I use in my game with my washer, dryers, and detergent all came from this website. That also shows you the level of skill that the modders in this community have to create such an intricate system to add to The Sims 2. This site has a whole section for default replacements, hair, foods, neighborhood, build, Sims, vehicles, and on and on and on. In addition to the Loads of Laundry mod, some of my favorite mods from the Plum Bob Keep are the Pumpkin Carving Station, which lets your Sim grow or purchase pumpkins to carve, put a candle in, and put up for Spooky Day. Some custom sliders, which give you more detail when customizing your Sims, and a bunch of recolors that are posted on the site, including roof deco recolors, which greatly expand the options available for my Sims and my builds. Number 7, Around The Sims 2. Although Around The Sims 2 is no longer putting out new Sims 2 content, They have some incredible sets available for download. One of the beautiful things about this site is that all of their posts are grouped by theme. They have objects, clothes, looks, building, and walls and floors. I mostly download objects from this site. Some of my favorites include their Tinkering Objects set, their Creative Toys set, their Mood Boosters set, and their Science Room set. In my opinion, the majority of these items blend seamlessly into my Sims 2 game and give me some more options for decorating. This site has a lot of decorative items, although some of them are functional as well, such as the toys and pet items, etc. Number 8. Parsimonious. I've saved the sites that are the easiest to navigate with the most custom content for last. Parsimonious is a site that has furniture and objects, clothing and skin tones, walls, floors, and terrains, makeup, accessories, genetics, houses, community lots, essentially everything you could want for your Sims 2 game. Although Sims 2 content is not being added to the site anymore, you will still have plenty to go through. For example, under the Furniture and Objects tab, there's a whopping 196 pages of content, and that's only for one tab. Suffice it to say, you'll have a hard time deciding what to put in your game because you'll want to put everything. Some of my favorite objects on this site are the Mini Basket Experience, which is an adorable version of a pet bed, the finished dining room set, which comes with a table and chairs, as well as a coffee table, a vase, aquarium, etc., as well as quite a bit of the wall paint and wallpaper on the site. You can easily get sucked into looking at all of the amazing downloads on this site, so you might want to set a timer for yourself. Number 9. Mod The Sims. Mod The Sims has over 77,000 downloads available for The Sims 2, and many of these downloads are not just one file. My recommendation is to start with your content gap. For example, do you need more houses for your Sims? Are you looking for default replacements, recolors, objects, or mods related to specific topics? You can browse the site through the subsections at the top or searching through the downloads. If you find a creator that you really like, you can also click on their name to view just their items. If you want to provide more options to your game, I recommend looking for recolors. A good place to start for that is with the creator Michelle. Michelle alone has over 1,000 downloads on her creator page, and she doesn't just have recolors. You can see from her section filters that of those 1,000, 811 of those are in buy mode, many of which are recolors, but not all. And she also has downloads for body shop, lots and houses, build mode, game mods, etc. You can find a lot of great mods on this site, many of which are in the game mods category. These include things from fixes, tweaks, to major changes in game style. I recommend starting by searching for things that you either want to tweak in your game or add to it. Then, after that, you can browse and see what else is available. One of my favorite sections in Mod The Sims is if you go to Body Shop and Makeup. I download most of my custom makeup from Mod The Sims. It would be impossible for me to make a list of all the mods and CC in my game, since I have literally thousands. But if I had to guess, I would say that about a third of the items in my downloads folder came from Mod The Sims. In addition, Mod The Sims has a very active community and great forums if you're looking for help or tips for your game. The last thing I'll mention on this site before we move on, if you navigate to Downloads, Body Shop, and Sliders, I recommend downloading all 3 of the downloads in this section. These add additional sliders to create a sim or create a family for you to use when you're creating your Sims. I didn't realize how much I would enjoy having these in my game until I finally installed them. Before we move on to the final site, and what I would consider the most awesome site on this entire list, I'm briefly going to share 3 honorable mentions. Honorable mention number 1, BuggyBooz. I honestly recommend downloading the majority of item sets on this site. Honorable mention number 2, Sims 2 Artists. This is another site to find great content with contributions from extremely skilled creators such as Shostakis and Huge Lunatic. Honorable mention number 3, LeeFish. This site is home to both custom objects and some incredible game mods. And finally, number 10, Tumblr. Tumblr is, without a doubt, the main hub for Sims 2 mods and custom content being released today. There are multiple Sims 2 communities, hundreds of various Sims 2 tags, and an incredible number of passionate players and creators on the platform. Although there's no one directory for Sims 2 custom content on Tumblr, some tags that I would recommend following and looking through include Sims 2 CC, S2CC, Sims 2 download, and any specific type of content tags that interest you. For example, 4T2 conversion, Sims 2 food, or Sims 2 build. There's too many amazing Sims 2 creators on Tumblr for me to highlight just a handful of favorites. Although let me know if you'd like me to make a video highlighting some of the Sims 2 creators on Tumblr whose blogs I visit again and again. Though I guarantee I won't be able to limit it to just 10. Maybe 20 or 25, and even that would be quite a struggle. If you don't check out any of the other sites on this list, definitely visit Tumblr. Be careful though, it's easy to get lost for days in the world of Sims 2 custom content. If you found this list helpful, be sure to tap that like button, and I will see you back here with another video very soon.